Faster than watching paint dry. More powerful than fumes from a tube of tester's glue. Able to leap tall modeling instructions in a single bound.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Super Chris, a fellow modeler and friend who can change the themes of his models, bend sprue with his bare hands, and who, disguised as a mild-mannered modeler for a great modeling community, fights a never-ending battle to help fellow modelers with tips, tricks, and tutorials. And now, another exciting episode of CP101. Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome. This is Kovac Enterprises, and we are on the eve of Chris Cortell's CP101 Tribute build that is hosted by Kenny May and Daniel LeRoy. Thanks for doing that for us. As you can see in front of you, again, we have the Superman Monogram kit of him crashing through a brick wall. With today's episode, we are going to actually take a look inside the box. But first, we'll kind of get a close-up look of the box itself. It's a pretty good size box itself. The kit is molded in blue. And if we flip it over, you can, let me bring the light down a little bit, you can actually see what the model looks like in its completion on the side of the box here. If we turn it over on this side, we have a couple more other profile shots. It does show that he's going to be built at 8 inches tall. So there you go. And pretty much it's the same around the entire box. So there you go. I bought this from the owner at my local hobby shop. His brother was selling it. So I went ahead and I opened up the box earlier, make sure that we had all the parts. So with that being said, we are opening up the box, and the first thing that we have going out is the instructions. As you can tell by the color, it's pretty yellow because it is an old kit, but it's very simple. You can see it's got some exploded views to it. Of the instructions. So there's basically 1 and 2 steps in front of you, and then it kind of opens up into the rest. So you can see all the steps being taken. Like I said, pretty simple instructions. There's no directions, it's just pictures, and just kind of showing you how the parts fit together. And of course on the back it shows you how to assemble the brick wall, and then of course the final assembly is gluing Superman down onto the base behind the brick wall. So that's pretty much for the instructions there. As you can tell, there is no plastic bags. It's basically all loose parts. Most of them, or all the parts, are completely off the sprue, but I did double check to make sure that all the parts are still in the box. We do have 2 decals, as you can see here. We have the left decal is going to be for applying on his chest, and of course the solid yellow is for his back of his cape. So there you go, there's that. And then of course we have our base itself, nicely detailed and lined up with some bricks. So there's our base, and then of course we have the 2 kind of girders that are holding up the brick wall. So that is them. Like I said, the entire kit is molded in blue, and we'll end up putting some primer on, stuff like that, as we get into the painting process. And of course, here's his cape. There are some scratch marks on his cape there, but we can go ahead and sand it down a little bit, and once we put the primer on, you won't see that. But nicely molded. And of course, all the parts themselves have the actual number on the parts on the pieces themselves, so you know what parts to glue together, since there are no numbers on the sprue tree itself. And of course, then we have like parts of his arms here. There's that. Nice muscle definition on that. And of course, we have part of his legs here, the back and the front part half of his legs. This would be his right side. So there's that. Okay, and then we have both his chest here and his back. Again, nicely detailed in the muscle structure. So there you go. And of course, then we have the other set of legs, both back and front. So there you go. And of course, part of his trunk and his belt. And of course, the back side, you know, which also has his boots. So that is that. And of course, then his other arm itself, as you can see right here. All right. We actually do have one of his fists still hanging onto one of the sprue trees, so it's in a punching mode for breaking through the brick wall. So there you go. And of course, then we have all these parts for the brick wall itself. Nicely detailed brick walls there, and we'll do her up real good for the paint job. Make it look like it's real. So there it is. There's another part right there. And then of course, you know, just more parts of the brick wall. Molded it different ways. So there you go. And let's see. Of course, you know, more of the same. There they are. Okay. And of course, then we have his actual face, his head, and of course, it's molded in half. So we'll have to do a lot of seam work here, but what we'll do here is we'll just kind of bring him up close here, and there's Superman, or in this case it's going to be referred to as Super Chris, but nicely molded. So the famous S curl. So there you go. And of course, you know, there's the back of his head. You can actually see the hair lines on the back of his head there, so nicely detailed there as well. All right. And just a few extra pieces. There's his other hand right here. And then, you know, a little bit more of the brick wall and his other arm. So that is it for the pieces. And like I said, we will get started on this officially tomorrow, Monday, which is the 20th. And again, I want to thank Kenny May and Daniel LeRoy for hosting this tribute to Chris Cortell. And until then, I hope everybody has a good weekend, and we will catch you on the next update of the Superman Monogram build for Chris Cortell's Classic Plastic 101 group build. So until then, have a good day, and we'll see you later. Bye.